Ladies and gentlemen, in name of DextraData and the entire crew, we would like to welcome you on board. We would like to show you now the safety features of this webinar. Please pay attention at the flight attendants. Hello and welcome to our webinar on Logipad, an in-house developed electronic flight bag solution. Before we start with our webinar, I would like to mention a few helpful hints. At any time during the webinar, you can type your questions into the question box located to the right of the main webinar window. We will answer the questions in a full Q&A session at the end of the webinar. You will only see your own questions. If at any stage you experience problems with either the audio or video, simply refresh your browser, which will reset your buffer and should allow the webinar to run smoothly again. In the next few minutes, I will introduce you to Logipad and show you its advantages and functionality. Let's have a look at today's agenda. I will start with an introduction of DextraData, the company behind Logipad. Then I will give you an overview of Logipad and the individual modules and functionalities. Based on a typical flight procedure, we will look at where Logipad can support you. You will see how flexibly and individually Logipad can be integrated into your processes and systems and what developments are planned for the future. After the presentation, the most frequently asked questions will be answered. If you require further information or have further questions, please contact us directly. At first, I would like to introduce you to DextraData, the company behind Logipad. DextraData is an IT consulting company with a focus on software and business applications and IT consulting and services. Furthermore, we are also a software manufacturer. Since 1995, we've been supporting companies with a variety of IT solutions. We help our clients to build IT environments critical to their business, as well as provide ongoing support. The analysis of our clients' business processes is the foundation for our IT concepts. Our goal is to create IT systems that are suitable for the individual business requirements of our clients. Providing efficient process support is our guiding business principle. We love technology, but our main focus is always the user's point of view. For us, it is important to understand the business of our customers and their requirements. Due to our agile approach, we are in regular dialogue with our customers during the implementation and, of course, beyond. Because our work does not end with the implementation, we accompany our customers and continuously ask for feedback and directly optimize our solution according to the individual requirements. Also, in the current COVID-19 situation, we are working hand in hand with our customer, even across international borders. For personal communication, but also for data exchange, we work with tools such as Microsoft 365 and provide remote services to all our customers. Since 2002, we have been providing airlines with the in-house developed electronic flight bag solution. Furthermore, we collaborate with important IT and aviation manufacturers such as Avialytics, Esterline CMC Electronics, Jeppesen-Sanderson, Microsoft, and NAV Aero Avionics. DextraData is located in Germany and has offices in Essen, Hamburg, Berlin, Munich, and Mannheim. Let's start with an overview and see how Logipad optimizes and digitizes processes and supporting pilots, crew, and of course also maintenance. Logipad is an in-house developed electronic flight bag solution. It is designed to make flight management simple, fast, and smart. Logipad guarantees flexible and scalable information handling on the ground and in the air, and on both mounted and mobile devices. It supports iOS, Android, and Windows, and can run on iPads, Android, and Windows tablets and notebooks. In fact, it is also possible to use different device types within one system. Initially, Logipad was developed upon a request of the customer LTU. The first productive version of our Logipad went live in 2002. Since then, Logipad has been further developed and constantly improved based on users' feedback. We have not only improved the functionalities, but also integrated new technologies such as face recognition and fingerprint. Meanwhile, several airlines, such as Aerologic, Ethiopian Airlines, Presidential Flight, Air Astana, Jet Aviation, and Virgin Atlantic Airways, have chosen Logipad as their electronic flight bag solution. Let's have a look at the user interface. After launching Logipad, the first step is authentication. Depending on the existing hardware, the authentication can be done via face recognition, fingerprint, or username and password. The Home tab is the starting screen of Logipad, including a news section and user information. As you can see, Logipad consists of modules which can be selected individually. The briefing module provides operational flight information, such as the operational flight plan, the so-called notices to airmen, as well as weather and wind charts. It also enables flight crews to collect flight-relevant data, such as fuel, weight, and times. The documentation module supports various file formats, such as Word documents, web text pages, web page images, PDF files, multimedia files, and the ebook file format EPUB. Not only can users confirm that they have received a document, but they can also bookmark it and add annotations. Furthermore, the module supports full-text search. The eForms module enables flight crews to retrieve, complete, and submit forms, such as safety or cabin reports. The form templates are based on HTML5 and XML. Time for a quick wrap-up. Logipad is an in-house developed solution. Logipad guarantees flexible and scalable information handling on the ground and in the air, and on both mounted and mobile and multiple devices. Logipad gets improved based on users' feedback. Logipad works modular: briefing module, documentation module, and eForms module. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your attention so far and wish you a pleasant flight. If there are any further questions, please feel free to ask our flight attendants right after the presentation. A member of flight operations updates the documents for the next flight in the backend. He flags documents that need to be confirmed by the pilot before the flight and waits for feedback from the pilot. Flight operations personnel and EFB administrators can use a Briefing Manager web interface to view and modify the content of an EFF package from the ground. Even short-term EFF updates before the flight can be provided directly onto an EFB device. Documents can be given a priority status, version, modification dates, and confirmation status. Before the flight, the pilot wants to take a look at the documents for his next flight. He notices that he does not have all the latest documents. No problem. Thanks to Logipad, he can synchronize and update all documents with just one click. Now the pilot has all the important information and can confirm that he has received it. He can also confirm that he has received and read the required documents. Prior to the flight, the pilot receives the briefing packages for the upcoming flight. To work with it, he activates the briefing module. Logipad maps the briefing process exactly as the pilot is used to from the paper process. As can be seen, required fields can be individually selected, added, and removed. Later, the e-briefing can be individually adapted and optimized according to your requirements. Therefore, there is no need to renew the whole application in case you want to modify the layout of the EFF view. Tabbing on the Synchronize button on the home screen will start the synchronization process. A progress indicator is showing the status of the synchronization process. A swipe gesture inside the box will guide you through all status information for each module. Besides synchronizing all data, it is also possible to synchronize the data of individual modules or individual files. The member flight operations team checks the backend again and sees that the document has been confirmed. You can see that document has been confirmed while the other document still shows a pending confirmation. The pilot sits in the cockpit and checks for the last time before the flight that he has all the important documents available. He realizes that the fuel information is not quite right. No problem, he changes it quickly and sends the changed information directly to flight operations. Before takeoff, the fuel data has to be checked. Click on Flight Plan and select Fuel. You can make corrections and enter extra fuel. Additionally, Logipad enables you to email the fuel data directly to the Operation Control Center. In fact, Logipad also supports data interchange with third-party applications, such as the navigation solution, Lido mPilot, or the onboard performance tool, Boeing OPT. Let's have a look at how you can manually enter performance data, such as V1, VR, V2, or important data from a third-party application to Logipad. In our example, you can see that we switch to Boeing's OPT application for calculating takeoff performance values. When tapping the import icon in the Logipad application, the calculated performance data will be imported. The data exchange works in both directions, and so data can be also transferred from Logipad to other applications. For example, you can transfer raw summary data of the flight plan from Logipad to mPilot. The crew updates the documents on the device during the briefing and thus has the current versions for the flight. A crew member searches for specific information. Thanks to the full text search, the information is available immediately. Within the module of the documentation, a complete search function is available. This functionality offers you the possibility to search for complete sentences, either within a document are also in the complete documentation library within all documents. In our example, you can search for the word engine. The corresponding hits are directly displayed. If you choose one of the displayed hits, you go directly into the respective document. Time for a quick wrap-up. Logipad offers certified information exchange. Logipad offers centralized digital information collection. Logipad integrates seamlessly with existing IT infrastructures. Logipad is individually adaptable to existing processes and requirements. Logipad offers role-based management, versioning, and read receipts. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for takeoff. Please fasten your seatbelts and avoid checking your status on Instagram during the webinar. Before the flight in the cockpit, the pilot makes final entries. We are now taking you on a flight. Our functions are all available offline. When there is no Wi-Fi available, content will be saved automatically. Once connected to Wi-Fi, content is automatically sent. The plane is in the air. The flight crew notices that the armrest of one of the seats is defective. No problem, they take a photo of it with their tablet and all the information is recorded digitally. If there is something to report during the flight, you can easily make entries in our electronic forms and can also add photos. Take a photo with the tablet and all the information is recorded digitally. These will be sent automatically after the flight when you have an internet connection. In the next section, I would like to show you how easy it is to create eForms yourself with Logipad. Therefore, we developed the eForm generator. The eForm generator is a multi-platform tool to build eForms tailored to individual needs in a very short time via drag-and-drop functionality for Logipad's EFB solution. After launching the tool, click on Create an eForm and enter a name for the new form. Once entered, the name of the document is reflected in the title of the eForm. In addition, on the left-hand side, a choice of possible eForm elements are displayed to the user. The user can choose between text, selection, and checkboxes, for example. Elements can be placed via drag and drop onto the preview screen of the eForm. Here we can see that a new section element for the contact information is added. A click inside the section element will allow you to add an input box. After adding a heading, we can add input fields to the section. As you can see, elements attributes can be divided to set a label, name, and/or modify the width of each control. You can switch from preview to code view to see the generated source code of the current build eForm. With the same procedure as described before, additional rows can be added to the section to add more elements to your eForm. In this case, we add 2 input elements for phone and email information to the existing section. After that, we add a section with 3 input fields and text box with 6 visible lines for entering a simple message. Finally, we save the eForm. It can be published to the user now. During the flight, the pilot hands over the controls to the co-pilot. The pilot has an iPad, the co-pilot a Windows device. No problem, the briefing can be transmitted via device-to-device communication. Let's see what happens to the briefing when there is a change in the cockpit. Briefing handling have never been so easy. With device-to-device communication, briefing data is exchangeable between devices, also between Windows, Android, and iOS. Different roles, like captain and the first officer, are taken into account with regard to the briefing handling, which complies with regular cockpit procedures. Time for a quick wrap-up. Logipad's features all available offline. Logipad digitally records, for example, defective equipment or furnishings. Logipad allows to collect data intuitively through electronic forms. Logipad allows device-to-device communication, even if the OS are different. Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we will descend towards the end of the webinar. Please take your seat right now and fasten your seatbelts. At the end of the flight, the pilot must record information about the flight in the flight log, such as information about who made the landing. This information is then sent directly to flight ops. Some of the information is even filled in automatically. For example, the pilot, crew, and airports. After the flight, the aircraft is checked by the maintenance crew. During the outside check, a defect is noticed. The QR code of the corresponding part is scanned and all information can be recorded digitally. The eForm is used by engineers to inspect or view the status of equipment items. With the supported QR code functionality within Logipad, QR codes on each equipment item can be scanned to retrieve information about the last inspection. Additionally, the eForm will be automatically filled with data provided within the QR code. In our example, the box's part number, serial number, and description are automatically filled. Also, the day of the last inspection and the equipped status of the item are directly displayed to the user. After the flight, Flight Ops checks to see if all data is available. The dispatcher checks the data entered by the pilot. Now I would like to explain the functionalities of the Briefing Manager more detailed. Within the Briefing Manager, you can filter by various statuses. On the one hand, there is the possibility to choose between productive and test mode. On the other hand, there is the possibility to filter by created, activated, or finalized briefings. If the filter is set to the created briefings, the dispatcher has the possibility to adjust a flight. He can make changes within the briefing, and in case of illness of the pilot or a complete crew change, the dispatcher is able to assign the briefing to a new pilot or crew. He is able to see the assignments, versions, and also attachments like fuel receipt or any other content attached to the current briefing. Within the Briefing Manager, briefing definitions can be assigned. Briefing definition define the layout of the briefing, like colors of the text and placement of content, for example. Time for a quick wrap-up. Logipad sends recorded information directly to Flight Ops. Logipad can be used by maintenance crew to record outside damages. Logipad can process, evaluate, and transfer data to other systems. In Q1, the second generation of Logipad was published on 15th of February in 2022, 20 years after its first release in 2002. Logipad is now using Microsoft Kubernetes service for its cloud solution. Our electronic flight bag solution allows single sign-on with identity and access management aimed at modern applications and services, including two-factor authentication. With our application, we support iOS, Windows, and Android clients, as well as browser-based clients. In Q2, Logipad is using Kubernetes for on-premises deployment. In Q3, the extension of the eForm workflow is planned. We will provide tools and a migration path to upgrade from Logipad to Logipad 2nd generation. In Q4, it is planned to extend existing reports and dashboard functionalities. An internal chat function will be added. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just reached our final parking position. You can leave the webinar now or take the chance to join our duty-free Q&A session.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for your attention. Before we answer your questions, we would like to introduce ourselves briefly. So my name is Björn Soim. I'm the PR manager of DextraData and Logipad. We also have Dirk Leser with us. Dirk is manager process automation practice, business consulting and analytics, or in short, he's our Logipad expert, so he will answer your questions. And I can see a couple of interesting questions coming in so far, Dirk. And I would say, let's start with the first one. So is Logipad a portable or installed EFB?
Yes, hello also from my side. Yes, the first question is very easy to answer. You can install it as a portable device, and it can also be installed as a fixed device, as a, for example, class 2 device. If you're just using fixed devices or hardware, it can be installed on that devices.
Okay, thank you. So the second one is, can an airline merge Logipad EFF module in its existing EFB, for example, iPad?
If an update is coming maybe from a flight planning system and another OFP version or an OFP version is updated or weather data are updated, you will receive or get a notification on the iPad, and Logipad will download the update, and it will automatically merge the update packages to the existing one.
Okay. So the questions are dropping in every second. The next one is, do you have an integrated M plus B module? If so, are different aircraft possible?
So we do not have a mass and balance module available, but we can integrate the module from other vendors. That is possible.
Okay. The next one is, how fast the app manage the LMC, like change of crew, change of AC, change of OFP?
It depends on yes, the OFP updated version or information are coming from a flight planning system needs to be synchronized to the iPad. And once we get the information, it will be automatically notified. And depending on the Wi-Fi connection, yes, that is the thing you need to keep in mind. Depending on the Wi-Fi connection and the availability. Yeah, can be fast, or if you have a slow Wi-Fi connection, depending on the amount or the amount of data, it can be yeah, slower or faster. So there's no I don't know how to say. You cannot say an average of that. It can vary from airport to airport.
Okay, those were very specific questions so far. We have a couple of more general questions. The first one is, which flight planning systems do you support?
So we don't care about the flight planning system. Most flight planning system can export the ARINC 633 format, and that is what we need. We take that format and can display directly into our application. So if you use, for example, Sabre, Lido, Jepson, NavBlue, every flight planning system will be supported here.
Great. The next one is, can Logipad handle EFF update packages?
Yeah, I think that is what we have discussed before with the OFP update. Yes, it's possible. Just we will merge the data on the iPad.
Okay. The next one is coming in. Can the briefing layout be customized?
Yes, you can customize the layout, and it can be customized to your needs. So we do not need to rebuild the whole application. We have a briefing definition file, and this can be synchronized to the iPads, and the layout can change dynamically.
Okay. The next one is depending a little bit on connectivity. Can data be copied to another device?
Yes, for example, for the briefing package, you can copy the complete briefing package to the other device, or you can even copy maybe some data. You can connect to the other device, as mentioned in the video. So we don't care if you're using iOS or Windows, or even one device can be an iOS and the other can be a Windows device, and you can copy the data over to another device. And yeah, it's possible here.
Okay, so another attendee is asking, may you explain to us the possibility of Logipad to distribute the manuals to the pilot and the acknowledgement for each revision?
Yes, from a flight operation point of view or administration point of view, you assign documents to a role or to a user. And you can set a property, which means confirmation or read and sign. And you also set a revision number for the document. And Logipad will synchronize the latest document or there's a latest revision to the iPad. Or you can also decide if you want to have multiple versions from one document stored on the device. It can also be done. Then you can confirm a document and just confirm. There's like a button, just confirmed. Administrators can see directly the status of the confirmation at the backend system. And you can build compliance reports for that, so that you can see which document is synchronized at what time and for which user.
Thank you. Our next question is, how do you have access to the data after the flight to check on data?
So every data will be stored on the device and is available also in offline mode. If you, for example, for eForms, if you fill in an eForm, the data will be passed to our backend system, to the server, and it will be stored in a database. And it's from there you can export it, or you can connect to our database over an API function or a REST API, or we can directly send data to other applications or other systems.
Okay. Next question is about the security. Any backup in case of failure of the app?
In case of failure of the app,
there is no failure.
there is no failure. And now, for example, if a device gets broken, yes, you need a spare device, or if you have synchronized the iPads, or you can have copied the data before to maybe to the first officer and pilot. This can be done, and the data itself, the content which is assigned to users, are stored into our database. And you just need to log in and to synchronize to get the latest data. So that could be a backup.
Mm-hmm. So the next questions is concerning the release of this version. The question is, when is this version due to be released?
The release process is triggered by an administrator. So once a document is uploaded, it will be available for each user. but you can also set an expiration date or a validity date for documents, so that depending on the date you entered, the document will appear on the iPad or disappear.
Okay. Next question is about systems. Does device-to-device communication work on Windows devices?
Yes, so we support all devices as mentioned before, Android, Windows, and iOS devices, and even you can copy the data to a cross-platform.
Okay, so the next one is very interesting. Is Logipad working in offline mode?
Yes, offline mode is available. So if you do not have Wi-Fi, everything is stored on the device, or every data you entered inside an EFF package or inside an eForm. And once you have a connection, the data will be automatically synchronized to our system.
Great. Okay, next question is about the eForms. Can eForm data be populated or imported to maintenance or cabin crew systems?
Yes, once filled out and sent, we can connect to other systems. So we have a so-called adapter, or like an interface, which is able to send the data to other systems, depending on, or you can configure it for each eForm you build. So different eForms will support different systems, for example. Another thing is that you can connect to other systems before, and you can fetch data from other systems like crew information, time information, or fuel information, and then you can pre-populate these values into our eForms. And the values will be available inside the application.
Okay. So the next one is, how does Logipad evaluate the offer? The questionnaire is giving three answers. Okay, the first one is the options, or is it a pack per number of users or per number of aircrafts or aircraft types?
So it depends on your needs. So we have yes, it can be licensed to users directly, or to a aircraft type or aircraft. It depends here. Maybe if it's a fixed device, in general, we will license it to an aircraft model. And if you have a company policy, for example, bring your own device, in general, it's a user-based licensing model.
Okay. The next one is, which document types is supported by Logipad?
Documents, there are a lot of documents types available which we are supporting. So for example, PDF, we also have XML, HTML, EPUB format. You can even upload content, so MP3 or MP4, so you can upload videos to our solution. And we also support, for example, the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, text, and RTF. So a lot of documents here are available and can be synchronized to the iPad and viewed.
The next one, is it possible to get this presentation in Logipad Contact? Yes, it is. It will be uploaded on Aircraft IT, and it will be uploaded on our website as well. It's logipad.aero, and there you can find the contacts to DextraData directly as well. And the next one is a question really love. Is there a demo version available?
Yes. Yes, we do have a demo version. So you can request a demo version. You can contact us directly, and yes, we will support you, send you a link where you can download a demo version.
Perfect. So I have another one here. How do you actually track the flight during a flight? Do you have an electronic lock to have a fuel and time check?
Yes, for fuel and time checks, we can use the data inside the EFF, and we will yes, record or save the data you have entered inside the EFF, and then you have the time tracks and the fuel values. We can also, for example, take the value from one flight at the end, and we'll pass it over to the next flight. So, after that, everything is stored inside our database, and you can build reports and statistics about the flights and yes, all the values.
Okay. Next one is, does Logipad run on-prem or in the cloud?
So we don't care. You can use it on-prem, and you if you want to go to the cloud or move it to the cloud, we are using Microsoft Azure for cloud environment infrastructure.
Okay. Next one, is Logipad a portable or an installed EFB?
I think it was the first question
Was
here.
the first question? Okay, then was another one. Okay.
Yeah. And yes, you can use it as a portable device, and you can even install it on a existing hardware. If you have a fixed or mounted device, it can be installed there.
Okay, so this was the bunch of first questions. So we stay a couple of minutes more. If you have any more questions in mind, please feel free to type it into the question box. We will work that out. In case you have to leave now or you have more questions further or after the webinar, as mentioned, you can visit logipad.aero or write an email directly to Dirk. It's dirk.lese with double E at DextraData.com. Or you can contact Aircraft IT as today's host. This works as well. Mm-hmm. So there's another one. Okay. Is it possible to compute OFP, operational flight plan, by choosing aircraft type, departure, destination, airport with Logipad software?
No, the computation will be done with a flight planning system. So we just take the information coming from the flight planning system. And if you, inside the EFF itself, want to make some calculation, this can be done depending on your business process and can be customized.
Okay. Our next question is about the demo version or free trial version. Do you provide trial version for an airline to get a feeling of the app?
Yes, that is that we can provide a demo version, and so you can twiddle around with it. We can put some demo content inside, or you can also upload, or you can provide some demo content which can be uploaded into the demo version.
Okay. Next one is about eForms. How are eForms created?
Yes, I think as you have seen inside the video, so we have a tool, the eForm generator. This is a cross-platform tool which can be run on a Mac, for example, or Windows device. And then you can build create your own layout, your own content without using without any coding, and you just need to use drag and drop to put elements inside the form, and yes, that will be after that it will be saved on, and you can directly use the new form inside the existing solution.
Okay. Next one is about connectivity and security. Can we use company login accounts rather than add and maintaining additional users to the system?
Yes, it's possible. So if you have, for example, a Microsoft account, Active Directory account, we built an identity service on top of our system. So you will connect to that identity service, and then you can say which provider you want to use for authentication. And then you can log in or authenticate with your company account.
Okay. Next one is, can you customize name of fields? So second in command in your presentation in our organization, it is called FO. Is that possible?
Yes, that's possible. Every layout inside the application, even if it's inside the EFF package, inside the eForms, can be totally customized.
Okay. The next one, is it available for Logipad to make the interface with some electronic logbox system?
Yes, we can connect to other systems as well. if there is an API available. Yes, most of the applications or systems has an existing API, REST API, SOAP, or something like that, and or database, and then we connect to it and provide or send the data to the system.
Okay. So, do you have any more questions? Oh, there's the next. All right. Okay. How Logipad managed post-flight data like JA mailing or download on demand?
Download on demand. Yes, post-flight data. For example, if you finished your flight and the EFF, and the data are stored inside the EFF package, you will finalize a flight or a briefing, and the data are sent to our server. And yes, it is stored inside our database. And for each flight report or EFF you send back, it will be stored or archived for 90 days, or you can even hold it for a longer period, and depending on your needs. And yeah, it will be available, all the data, through our briefing manager. You have access to it. You can review the data, export the data, print the data.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions we could answer for you? So think a moment, and if you ever have any questions, let us know. That's no problem. So as mentioned before, if you have any further questions, so please contact us directly or visit our new website. It's logipad.aero. There you find any contact details. You find a link to the demo version you asked for. So, okay, there come in some more questions. Can the flight report support multi-sector trips?
Yes, it's possible to handle multi-sector trips. Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Does it calculate flight hours? And okay, the next word I can't read. It's SNCE. I think there's missing a sign. Can you see them as well? Do you know what it means?
Yeah. Not really, but I cannot do it. Hours, flight hours. Yes, we can calculate flight hours. Yes, we can do some simple calculation, or if you, for example, add some extra fuel, or calculations can be done depending on your needs here. We can build in a logic and customize it to the EFF.
Okay. Oh, it was meant as since. Okay, that was an I missing. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that can be done.
Perfect. Any more questions from your side, dear attendees? Yeah, there's the next one. Okay. E-tech log part of Logipad. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, it's not. No, we do not really have an like an e-tech log. We will do this with our eForms. So we can have an e-tech log available inside the EFF, or you can use eForms to fill out the data and send it to the ground.
Yeah. So we get a couple of questions of please share the Logipad presentation. Yes, we'll do. It will be uploaded on the website of Aircraft IT. It will be uploaded on our own website, logipad.aero. You can direct us directly. That's not a problem. So the presentation will definitely share it with you afterwards. Any more questions in your mind? So please feel free to type it into the question box. Okay, seems like we've answered all questions. That's a good sign if there are no more questions, but in case, if you have any questions further after the webinar, so as I already mentioned, please feel free to contact us, visit our website. And in this case,
That's
Okay.
another question coming in. So
Perfect.
yeah, it's a load and trim sheet is included in. Yes, you can upload a load and trim sheet or add a load and trim sheet to the existing EFF package within the briefing manager, and then it will be part of the EFF package.
Okay. There are coming more questions. That's okay.
Okay.
What is the eForm function? What does you need for it? Oh, now the question vanished.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the eForm, so the function is you can create your own eForm based on your existing paper forms. And yes, you can add input fields, you can create tables, you can add a signature field, for example, so that you need to sign the form, you can add pictures to it. And it's like an HTML5 document. And we are stored every document inside our database, and you can access all the data within the eForm from our backend. You can connect to it, or we can add actions to send it to other systems.
Okay. The next one, I think there is the beginning missing. Says for tracking if In-cockpit has an internet connection, could be ground track.
For tracking, so for the moment you do not have a tracking tool available, but we can maybe if the hardware is, for example, in the iPad, you can use a locate function. It could be possible to add this functionality, but we do not have a tracking available right now. But that should no problem if that is needed to add it as a functionality.
Okay. Any more questions left? Okay, some of the attendees already said goodbye. For those who's still here with us, if you have any more questions, as mentioned, please contact us directly. Okay, there's a next one. Oh, it was just a thanks. Okay, that's a good question. Thank you too. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, I think no additional questions are coming in here right now.
Yeah. Okay.
And yes, I want to say thank you to everyone who's joining this webinar, and yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day. Goodbye.